children's names and anyone in the family after.
The 6-year-old boy locked out of his home.
They said the 6-year-old boy looked like he had been outside for a while.
2 years ago, our beloved grandson almost froze to death because of my wife's memory loss. I'll never forget that day. It was one of the most extreme winters Montana has ever endured, when my wife, who has always been the most caring grandmother, forgot Noah, our 6-year-old grandson, in the backyard, cold, freezing, and alone with no one to help him. In the following week, she went from forgetting things now and then to be diagnosed with an advanced form of aggressive memory loss. Not only that, but she started finding it really hard to remember his children's names and anyone in the family after that. Even up to this day, when I think about this terrible accident, I cry like a helpless child. But I need you to listen to Nina's story today, because it was that precise moment that drove me on an incredible journey and yet extremely dangerous journey where I could uncover the real reason for memory loss. Why no one in the big pharma industry has ever dared to find a real solution for it, and how we can stop our brains from shutting down on us and fix any cognitive and memory decline that shows up, no matter our age or how aggressive it appears to be. The same real solution that has sat until now at the bottom of a locked drawer in a forgotten big pharma lab, who would much rather feed you expensive and side effect-filled medications while watching your mind turn into nothing more than dust than saving your life. And if you think I'm crazy, I completely understand. But after digging into hundreds of scientific reports, which I'll absolutely share with you today, and getting thousands of thank you emails and calls from happy folks that escaped the memory loss prison, I can tell you one scientific fact. Memory loss has nothing to do with your genetics, age, or eating habits. Instead, as 2 renowned scientists from Yale University have recently proved, all cognitive and brain-related problems have one common cause: a little-known yet extremely dangerous brain chemical that hijacks your nerve cells. Moreover, emerging reports have shown that this brain chemical is the reason behind all life-altering brain diseases such as deadly memory loss, Parkinson's, and dementia. Mainstream medical institutes are finally starting to admit the threat is real. It has already affected more than 6 million Americans. So if you or one of your loved ones are well past your prime years and are scared that one day your mind might turn cold, dark, and empty, then please watch this video carefully, because recent evidence has shown that people born between 1940 and 1970 are the most exposed to this chemical imbalance. And what's more frightening about it is that it takes over your body so slowly, you might not even notice how bad it got until it's too late and your memories are gone, one by one. At first, you may ignore those senior moments, dizziness, or lack of sleep until you find yourself desperately pacing on the hospital hallways, praying that your test results won't confirm your deepest fears. And then it all might be already too late. But as bleak as this sounds, there is a way out of this. Once your brain regains its natural balance of this chemical, it will start repairing itself. Your memory will be back to normal and you'll be protected from brain and memory damage for the rest of your born days. You'll no longer be the cause of your family's suffering. You won't have to spend your well-deserved retirement years in a senior home having a nurse follow you to the bathroom to make sure you pull down your pants before you pee, or face the humiliation, anger, and loneliness of seeing your children trying to hide their tears when they come to visit, not knowing the reason for their tears is actually you. Instead of all these, you'll live your golden years in freedom, being fully conscious of yourself and everything around you. And you'll be able to entertain your grandkids with all those great memories of yours and also still give them wise grandparent advice every time they need it. And you'll always have your most precious memories to tell everyone. So pay close attention, because in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to show you the real reason why memory loss occurs even in the prime of your life. A reason so unexpected, it broke the medical world in two, just because a powerful big pharma insider wanted to keep it a secret at the expense of people's own lives. You'll find out why some people experience memory loss as soon as they turn 40, while others seem immune to cognitive decline even in their 90s. Hint, it's the same reason why you sometimes forget your dreams soon after waking up. And now a little-known brain chemical imbalance will decide whether you start losing your memory at 40, 70, or never. I'll show you the simple morning test you can do right away to find out how big this chemical has already affected your brain, the 2020 buried Yale study that showed the real cause of memory loss and why nobody in the pharma-paid scientific community dares to talk about it, and the simple 20-second method that will bulletproof your brain cells against all memory problems and cognitive damage for all your life. Just imagine how it would be like to always fully enjoy having a clear mind, clear thoughts, and a clear memory. To do all the things you always wished for without worrying that there's a ticking bomb inside your brain that could shut it down at any moment. To travel, drive, and go to family reunions without the constant fear that you might forget the name of your favorite grandchildren. Imagine not being a burden to your family, but a person they can actually rely on with your precious advice. Think about how priceless your guidance is for your children and grandchildren, and how much they could learn from your life experience. Today, all this can be a reality for you, and all you have to do is spare a few minutes of your time in exchange. Does that sound fair? Hi, I'm Frank Stevens, and the following story is 100% real. Controversial, but 100% real. 2 years ago, my grandson was left freezing to death in one of the most extreme Montana winters of the last decades because of my wife's senior moments. There was the day after Thanksgiving, and Nina was at home alone with our 6-year-old grandson, Noah. It was one of those happy grandmother-grandson moments. The weather was still calm outside, so Nina said to Noah, "Let's make a snowman." Happiness and joy surrounded them. They played together, they sang songs around the snowman, they made fun of each other's snowy hats, and then Nina stopped smiling. She dropped the snowball, turned her back from Noah, and went inside the house. She took her shoes off, took off her coat, slowly locked the door from the inside, and went upstairs to take a nap. But Noah was outside, alone in the cold, freezing to death. Our poor little grandson was locked out of the house in the extreme cold, made even worse by the wind chill that day, desperately crying and knocking, trying to get inside as the snow was starting to fall heavily. But Nina couldn't hear him, nor could she remember that just a few moments before, they were both having the time of their lives. Of course, knowing Nina, I can bet my life on it that she never meant to put Noah through such a horrific nightmare. The minute I parked my car and saw my grandchild half covered in snow, barely breathing with his face turning blue, a million thoughts raced in my head. It was by far the scariest moment of my life, and the thought we could have lost him torments me up to this day. The next thing I remember is that I was down on my knees next to his hospital bed, crying and praying to God to save my little grandchild. Fortunately, our prayers worked because Noah recovered just fine, and his good heart made him not to be mad at his Nana. But a week later, the news hit us like a speeding bullet. Nina was diagnosed with a full-blown aggressive form of deadly memory loss. "Your wife's brain scan shows an aggressive form of memory loss. Did you know about that?" said the doctor. "Memory loss?" I asked with a heavy sigh. I mean, I knew she could forget things from time to time. I just figured it was normal at our age, but would it be this bad? "I'm afraid things are serious. I suggest you check with a specialist as soon as possible, as I don't know how long she's got until she won't be your wife anymore. Or not the one you remember," the doctor concluded. That was it. There was no turning back for Nina. We were both finally facing the harsh reality, the one we were always deeply afraid of, that of not being able to be ourselves anymore. The image of Nina not being able to hold a spoon in her hand and eat by herself, and the thought that she would eventually hit a point where she'd stop having lucid moments at all, were haunting me day and night. I knew that if I didn't do something fast, my beloved wife might end up spending her long-awaited retirement years in a nursing home, confused and surrounded by strangers. The weeks that followed filled me with anxiety, fear, and hopelessness. And even though Noah recovered, Nina couldn't stop recalling that incident and blaming herself for almost killing our grandson. What if this happens again? Nina asked me every day. The thought she almost killed her grandson, who was the apple of her eye, paralyzed her. I don't deserve to be called a grandmother. I should be behind bars for what I did, she yelled in tears. Every night when I looked at her sleeping, I would sink into despair. Our lives were crumbling down around us, and all I could do was witness how time was ripping off my wife's mind little by little. My dear Nina, who used to be the heart of our family, the most caring mother for our children, and also my best friend and biggest supporter. This amazing woman I once swore to God to protect till death do us part was turning now into a shadow of the woman I fell in love with. She was so hurt when I hired a part-time nurse to assist her while I was at work that she stopped talking to me. Most days when I got home from work, I'd notice she didn't even get out of bed. She was so depressed she'd just sleep all day and barely ate. Instead, she religiously followed all the treatments the doctor gave her. Every day, she would take 8 different pills, such as Aricept and Exelon, which would often leave her nauseated and vomiting. But the worst was yet to come. One day, as I got home from work, I found Nina nervously pacing around the living room holding a thick folder in her right hand. As I asked her what she was doing, she broke into tears. "I'm planning my medically assisted death procedure, Frank," Nina said, sobbing. "The lawyer was here today to help me with the papers. I want to live only for as long as I continue to be myself." She tore my soul apart. I tried to reach her, to grab her arm and pull her towards me, to hold her in my arms, but she pushed me away. "From this point, I'm only going down, Frank. You know that. I can't let you see me like this anymore. Please tell Noah how sorry I am for what happened," Nina said. It was that moment when I realized that no doctor was going to magically save my wife, and unless I did something about it, I would have to live the rest of my life without her. I just couldn't accept that thought. I was all ready to go to the ends of the earth to get my Nina back. I didn't care that 3 different doctors said there's no hope for my wife. So after a long, thoughtful night, I got up, went straight to the university where I was working, and handed in my resignation letter to the dean applying for retirement. Then I went to the bank and requested a new credit line to finance my scientific studies. I didn't care if I ended up broke. There was no price to put on my wife's life. So I started going through every brain memory loss study and medical journal that came to my hand. I knew this wasn't going to be easy. I started taking notes, researching every alternative theory about what's damaging the human brain. But after reviewing hundreds of medical journals, publications, and health libraries, I still had nothing. There were thousands of pages of information about memory loss, but no clinically proven way to treat it. Deadly memory loss still remained a mystery for the trillion-dollar Big Pharma. But when everything seemed lost, I discovered something that turned my world upside down. You see, a question kept popping inside my head. Why do some people experience memory loss as early as in their 40s, while others can recite entire book chapters in their late 80s? It just didn't make sense. Now, I'll save you some months of research and show you directly the study that set on fire everything the scientific world knows about memory loss. It all started with a buried 2020 study coming from Yale University. Yale's renowned scientist Veronica Galvin spent her life analyzing every tiny part of the human brain and finally came to a conclusion. She identified a key neurotransmitter called acetylcholine that's responsible for establishing connections and strengthening neural pathways inside the brain. Simply said, the neurotransmitter keeps your mind sharp. Now hold on, because it gets deeper. The problem is when this neurotransmitter is persistently found in low levels inside your brain, it puts your mind at high risk. Without sufficient levels of acetylcholine, your brain literally shrinks in size, almost irreparably damaging the paths between your neurons. Imagine a train trying to get from station A to station B without rails. You can have the fastest, shiniest train in the world, as well as passengers who desperately want to get to their destination. But as long as you don't have a rail system between the two stations, the train is stuck in Station A. You could have tens of thousands of perfectly developed neurons and they'd still not be able to connect and form a connection, what's called synapse, without this key neurotransmitter. This tiny little chemical is literally the key to the entire human cognitive system. Now, knowing all this, I still couldn't understand why there are perfectly healthy individuals with no trace of brain disease in their family history who still get this debilitating disease. What exactly causes such a major drop of this key neurotransmitter in a perfectly healthy brain that functioned like a Swiss watch for decades and now suddenly becomes toast? Now, here's where it gets interesting. A critical study published in the British Medical Journal of January 2012 states that cognitive decline actually starts earlier than it was thought before, in your mid-40s. This 15-year-long study shows that your brain is more predisposed to chemical imbalances, including decreasing levels of acetylcholine as early as 40 years old. Even more distressing is that this decline can progress at very unpredictable rates. It usually moves from mild, misplacing things, repeating questions, to moderate, being unable to learn something new, getting lost, failing to recognize loved ones, to severe, losing the ability to speak, swallow, or remain continent, needing help with every function of day-to-day life. I was shocked. What does this even mean for people like me who are in their 60s? Should we just sit here and wait for our brain to slowly deteriorate if we're lucky, and rapidly if we're not until the end of our lives? But then again, how come some of the smartest people on the planet are over 60? All the philosophers, writers, scientists, Nobel Prize winners, most of the U.S. presidents were elected after 60. Franklin D. Roosevelt was a president of the United States till the age of 63. Even Washington himself was 65 when he left the White House. Not to mention that we all know people of advanced age who seem to be immune to mental decline. But what I found next was the key to this death riddle. Scientists have discovered that a small percentage of the population actually have the highest mental acuity well into their later years. They actually called them superagers. We all know or have seen that old person who just seems sharp as a tack, and you just have to wonder, what's their secret? Now, what's special about those so-called superagers is that their brains produce very high levels of acetylcholine throughout their whole lives. Therefore, their minds have stronger and more numerous neural connections. This in turn makes their mind and memories feel strong. This was indeed a major breakthrough, and I couldn't stop asking myself, is age the only factor we take into account when it comes to memory loss? The next report I found made it all clear. Just look at this shocking graph from the official Memory Loss Disease Center. The prevalence of cognitive impairment was almost non-existent back in 1979, but I still didn't understand why. Why was the average 60-year-old person who lived in 79 safe against cognitive decline, while our generation should worry about memory loss right after turning 40? I felt like I was truly close to finding out how to save my wife, but most of the reports I read stopped there. No one seemed to have a good explanation, until one afternoon when one of my former colleagues from the university stopped by to visit me, as he's seen the messages I posted on medical online forums. He was quite familiar and up to date with recent research about brain and memory loss. I told him the entire story, how Nina locked Noah outside, how she was diagnosed with the disease, and how worried I was she'd soon lose her sense of identity. "Frank, why didn't you come to me earlier?" Dr. Wentz said. "My sister was diagnosed with a severe memory impairment 3 years ago at just 57. I know exactly what you're going through. I've been there myself. In fact, here's what I found out." And then he started explaining to me, and everything made perfect sense. As Dr. Wentz found in his medical research, the real reason behind acetylcholine imbalance is that we're not using our brain the way it was initially designed to be used. You see, Frank, like a muscle, your brain needs constant exercise to stay in shape, Dr. Wentz added. Yet the modern world we live in deprives us of crucial mental exercise. Decades before writing became accessible, the only way to spread culture and knowledge to younger generations was oral history. Therefore, a sharp memory was an essential part of people's life. "You know, you're a philosophy professor," he said to me. "You should know better that ancient Greek philosophers would memorize and recite entire poems hundreds of lines long. Society would rely on the brain of the everyday person, and all individuals were engaged in rigorous daily mental exercise. Babylonians, the most prosperous ancient civilization, did not have smartphones, TVs, and computers to distract their attention and distort their natural cognitive processes. Modern society denies essential exercise to certain parts of our brain, causing early atrophy of memory as well as other functions. We are exposed to numerous distractors that constantly disrupt the production of healthy neurotransmitters in our brains. The most basic things like remembering phone numbers, addresses, dates, or even street names are now replaced by technology. These factors literally teach your mind to forget, placing everyone at high risk for early onset cognitive decline. You see, Frank, the real reason behind memory loss is not your age, but your brain's age, Dr. Went concluded. This was incredible. As much as I wanted to object, he was right with everything he said. We are truly not using our brains as we used to. It seems so simple, yet so crucial for our brain's health. You see, our brains respond to every single thing we do, say, or feel. The way we act, the way we use it. It constantly adapts, and that adapting doesn't always mean it's adapting in the ways that are good for you. How could we protect our minds from this life-robbing threat? I asked Dr. Went. The good news is, you don't have to throw away your smartphone or cancel your Netflix account in order to turn back the clock on your brain. After months of continuous research and countless trials and errors, I finally managed to isolate the exact ingredients in the exact quantities that restore your brain's chemical balance and strengthen the neural connections, no matter how hard they were damaged by this key neurotransmitter. Then Dr. Went told me how he presented his findings to the pharma company he was working for at that time, and they literally threw him out of the building. They said the formula was simply not worth it for their bottom line, and in their words, it could not project recurring revenue since the formula was all natural. This despite the fact that Dr. Went showed them how it could save millions of lives. They simply didn't care. My eyes filled with tears again. It was for the first time in weeks when there was finally hope for my wife. I took on a second mortgage and sold an old property of ours to have the money we needed. Dr. Went agreed to help me out even further. So we bought the ingredients we needed, mixed them in the proper quantities, and developed the first batch of supplements that would save my wife. I'll admit, Nina was reluctant at first since every doctor we saw crushed her hopes. But she had seen how much effort Dr. Went and I put into this, so she decided to give it a try. Now, the first days, nothing major happened, and I could see Nina's disappointment. A few days later, we started seeing that her memory lapses became less and less frequent. She then started remembering things from the days we first met, our first day, even what dress she wore and how my fancy watch had impressed her. It was amazing, but I tried not to get my hopes up too quickly. Then days went by and Nina's mood completely changed. She became more active. Her mind became sharper. She even helped our grandson Noah with his homework. It was her way of saying she was sorry. It was also her way of saying she's back. She just didn't realize it yet. But I could see it on her face. It is that feeling when you know everything is all right in the world and sometimes you don't even notice, even though your loved ones do. A few more days passed and there was no sign of Nina's memory problems. She was no longer depressed and she was back on telling us her best stories. She could recall things even we had long forgotten. Tears rolled down my cheeks as I saw my wife smiling for the first time in months. When Nina and I went to see the doctor, we were scared, but we also knew that there was no way her condition would not have improved. I mean, we saw it with our own eyes. I swear, the moment her doctor looked at her test results, he took off his glasses, rubbed them off his shirt, put them back on, and looked again. He simply did not believe it. It worked. My Nina was back. My wife's memory loss condition was gone. She was no longer condemned to a life of loneliness and emptiness. When Dr. Went and I saw this formula worked for Nina, we knew we had to share this with everyone. They'll come after you. Big pharma boys won't stop until they bring you down, Dr. Went warned me. But I didn't care. I knew this formula could save millions of lives, and it had to be put out there. So I teamed up with Dr. Went and his team of scientists from a prestigious partner university with one purpose in our minds: to share this incredible breakthrough with everyone that wants to get back their brain, their minds, and their lives. The fastest, safest, most effective way to recharge your mind, strengthen your neuronal connections, and restore the chemical balance in your brain. We performed 463 tests on brave volunteers of all ages and medical conditions to make sure it works on any person, regardless of how severe the damage is. I almost broke into tears when I held the first batch of this incredible brain supplement in my hands. We called it Memo Surge, a one-of-a-kind, extremely powerful formula that repairs your brain, helps you regain your memories, and protects your mind against cognitive damage until you're an old man or woman in your late 90s. Memo Surge contains a formula like no other, designed to boost, rejuvenate, and energize every cell in your brain that's damaging your memories. It helps you get rid of those embarrassing senior moments once and for all. You'll never again find yourself lost in the middle of the conversation or have to watch others make fun of you because you forgot simple things like where you put your keys. This incredible formula will make you learn faster, boost your creativity, give you brighter moods, and stimulate your brain for a level of focus you weren't even aware you were capable of. Now let me tell you why this is the most incredible brain blend ever invented. Here's how it works. Step 1. Fire up neurotransmitters in your brain. As I told you before, brain cell communication is directly linked to the production of certain brain chemicals, especially acetylcholine. Phosphatidylserine is a stepping stone ingredient which is absolutely crucial for maintaining your brain health. It will keep your neural active high. Your neurons will start to connect and create new synapses every day. Without phosphatidylserine, your brain cells won't be able to react fast. It's like you'd try to keep your balance on a bicycle while standing still. Simply impossible. Step 2. Repair the damaged brain cells and eliminate brain shrinkage. Remember back to your mid-20s when your mind was super sharp? Here comes into play St. John's wort. This super nutrient will completely destroy the plaque on your brain, allowing the brain cell communication to flow and to be safely reestablished. Without it, the other powerful nutrients would never be able to reach all the wounded neurons because the plaque prevents proper blood circulation inside the brain. Step 3. Bulletproof the entire brain against cognitive decline. Even though your brain is nourished by the other super ingredients, without an acetyl L-carnitine, you wouldn't be able to recollect the memories you already lost. This powerful nutrient will also make your stiffened neurotransmitters limber and more responsive, protecting your brain from any future disease, no matter if it's caused by age, environmental toxins, or bad cognitive routine. A 2017 study proved its incredible neuroprotection properties even in the case of brain injury. Step 4. Get rid of anxiety and insomnia and ultra boost your energy levels. This is why we added Bacopa monnieri extract. This superfood that your brain loves will regulate your feel-good chemicals so you'll enjoy a less stressful life and keep your memory sharp to deep old age. An extensive study on 107 participants from Swinburne University, Australia, found that the administration of Bacopa monnieri for 90 days led to an improved performance in day-to-day memory tasks and also lowered stress levels in every single participant. These amazing nutrients are already life-changing when taken individually. Now just imagine what they can do for your brain if mixed together in a powerful capsule. Just imagine never again struggling to keep up with a conversation because of your fuzzy thinking. Imagine the wow on your grandchildren's faces when you'll tell them all those funny stories from the good old days. Your mind, even in your late 80s and 90s, will still be like a sponge, ready to soak up any piece of information or new skill. Just imagine how good it feels to remember all the important events in your loved ones' lives, even to the tiniest details. Imagine being yourself again, your true, real, 100% brain-functioning self. This has already become a reality for over 129,000 brave men and women who tried Memo Surge and are now living their best years in peace and happiness. Imagine how amazing it would be to be able to pick up a new language in just a week, right before your trip to Europe. Imagine being able to recognize faces and instantly call up names without having to squeeze your brain every time somebody stops you to say hi at the supermarket. Or just not having to ask for your kids' help even for the simplest tasks that require technology. Instead, you'll be able to learn faster, listen better, find more creative solutions to literally every challenge, react faster, and focus deeper than you did in the first day of high school. Memo Surge will get you from forgetting why you left the house to having friends lining up just to hear your worthy political ideas. Moreover, the powerful nutrients complex will spare you those humiliating senior moments so you keep your dignity and well-deserved respect. Memo Surge is only produced using the highest quality ingredients in an FDA-approved top-ranked facility using the latest technology and equipment. This is why we can confidently say that Memo Surge is safe to use and will provide results you can see and feel. Our formula is also vegetarian, gluten-free, and 100% GMO-free, with every ingredient being sourced from its mother country. Moreover, at the end of the day, we take out a sample from each batch and send it to lab tests to ensure 100% formula compliance. Unfortunately, buying all the ingredients individually would cost you a fortune. I remember racking my brain all day trying to find the ingredients from Dr. Went's list at affordable prices for my dear Nina. Well, Big Pharma must be thinking we're all millionaires, or at least they act like it when their doctors prescribe overexpensive medications. Just take a quick look on Amazon and you'll see that they charge you $28.63 for a bottle of Huperzine, $44.20 for a vinpocetine bottle, and $27.46 for a bottle of L-glutamine. That's a total of $100.29 per month for just 3 out of 12 powerful ingredients that we mixed in our formula. And let's not even talk about how inconvenient it would be to swallow 12 different pills every day. Now, of course, you're not going to pay that much for the formula that has already helped over 129,000 men and women. A little while ago, I watched as my dear wife's memories were fading away, and I felt powerless. I felt there was nothing I could do, and it scared the life out of me. And you know what? I think at a certain point you found yourself in that story. And deep down you know that I would have not posted this story online if I did not want to help as many people as possible. So today, without further ado, you're not going to pay $199 for this brain and life-saving formula, not even $99. Because today you can get a 30-day supply of Memo Surge for just $69 and not a penny more. And because I want to help you as much as possible, after talking to our manufacturing partner, they allowed us to give a discount on the 6-bottle package of Memo Surge. So while you're on this page right now, select your package in the next 30 minutes, and you can get Memo Surge for only $49 per bottle, and also get free shipping from us for as long as we have the formula in stock. So select the 6-bottle package or any other package you want. See if Memo Surge is currently available and join the 129,000 happy men and women who have now escaped from the shackles of this debilitating disease. Consider this the smallest but most powerful investment that you can do for yourself today. Tens of thousands of people are already living proof that Memo Surge will absolutely change your life. It's safe to say that a bottle of Memo Surge will restore your mind and make you remember some of your forgotten memories. 3 bottles of Memo Surge will also strengthen your nerve cells, nourish your brain, and get rid of anxiety and insomnia. But there's a reason why 98% of our users choose the 6-bottle package. Once you go with the 6-bottle package, in just a few months from now, you'll boost your mental capacity, enhance your creativity, and improve your learning and brain performance. And it will make you immune against any related memory disease. And if for any reason you don't think it made a significant difference in your life, we'll gladly refund your order, no questions asked. We are completely aware that no two bodies are the same, and even the most efficient formula can differ from person to person. So if after trying Memo Surge, even if you feel 99% satisfied with the results, we'll refund every penny you invested into this formula. Moreover, the money-back guarantee stands in place even if you consumed the full bottle and there is nothing to return. Do this for yourself, and more importantly, do it for your loved ones. Do it so they don't watch helplessly how you lose your mind and memories little by little until all that remains will be an empty shell of what you used to be. All it takes is a simple click once you've selected the recommended package below or any other package you want. You already took the first step by educating yourself with this presentation. Now it's the time to either choose to take your destiny in your own hands or just let it go and hope your brain would just miraculously repair on its own, which we both know that won't happen. So make the right choice for you and your loved ones and choose the package you want below immediately. Once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page where you can fill out your payment details using a credit or debit card. Our checkout is 100% secure. We use the safest payment processor in the US, and the entire process takes less than a minute. Shortly after you fill in your information and confirm your order, your package of Memo Surge will be shipped to your doorstep. And remember, you get free shipping with every purchase you make today. But you have to hurry. It's the only way to secure your order while the supply lasts. You risk absolutely nothing because you are covered by our 60-day no questions asked money-back guarantee. It's simple. Select one of the packages and hit the buy button below. Try this powerful formula. Watch as you regain control over your brain and see how good it feels to enjoy the beauty of a clear mind over again, to regain your happiness and joy for life. No more forgetfulness, no more lack of focus, no more headaches, no more embarrassment. Just your brain power that you regain, as the other 129,000 men and women from all over the world have done it before you. Enjoy all of this, and after 2 months, if you are not satisfied with the results, even if you've used up the entire bottle, send us an email and we'll refund every penny back. No questions asked. You have 2 months to try Memo Surge and see the amazing results for yourself. All you have to do is claim your discount, select one of the packages below, and take advantage of this amazing deal. We'll cover 100% of the shipping costs and make sure Memo Surge is delivered straight to your doorstep in just a few days from now. But I urge you to act now. We are currently overwhelmed by the number of orders, which makes our ability to restock extremely hard since we only work with the highest quality ingredients. When you choose the 3 or the 6 bottle package, you get Memo Surge even cheaper. Now, I'm not sure how long it's going to last. We might be forced to raise the price very soon. So please don't miss your chance to get this amazing formula at an even lower price. Select the 3 or the 6 bottle package or any other package you want and restore your sharp memory today. Now, there's something else you should know. I've made a lot of enemies by posting this online. Dr. Went already received a few threats of litigation if we don't take this down immediately. And you think it's crazy talk until it actually happens to you and some fancy lawyer with an expensive suit knocks on your door and threatens your family. So the next time my phone rings and we're forced to take this video down, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you anymore. But here's the thing. Big Pharma's interest is not to solve your problems, but to keep you trapped into their cash-making machine. Otherwise, they would have already offered the solution for something that's affecting so many of us. Almost 60 million people worldwide suffer from memory loss, and it's not like it has been around for only a few years. But why offer a solution when you can keep milking the cash cow for years? So you can imagine they will pull every dirty trick in the book to keep you from seeing this. That's why I urge you to take advantage of this while you still can. And even if you somehow feel you've tried everything and don't know what to say, just picture this. In a year from now, when you look at life, what's going to have changed? You'll remember this moment, and when you try to come back, this website will be off for good. The truth is, you only have two options. Option number one, you can leave this page and act like nothing happened. Ignore this powerful solution, all the groundbreaking research, and the tens of thousands of men and women standing behind its incredible results. Continue to live trapped with this debilitating prison of losing your memory one day at a time. Waste thousands of dollars on useless medication and therapies that ultimately fail you one by one, knowing that you'll never get rid of this disease this way. This may sound familiar, and I think you already know what will happen if you go down this road. You can feel it growing inside you. The hopelessness, the exhaustion, the embarrassment, stress, and anxiety. The thought of inevitably becoming a hollowed-out person with no memory, mind, or sense of identity, no matter what you do. I know you don't want that, but why go down this road when you can choose option number two? And let's be honest, it's the only one worth considering. You can stop the debilitating process that's been ruining your life and click on the buy button below now. Secure your order and be one more success story that Memo Surge brings into the world. So go ahead and select your package, then hit the button below. You are 100% covered by our 60-day money-back guarantee, which means you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Try Memo Surge and see the amazing benefits it has to offer. Regardless of your decision, I truly hope you've enjoyed this report and you'll never give up on your health no matter what you do. Thanks again, and I hope to speak with you soon. In the end, I leave you with this heartwarming testimonial. Carl O., 85, Los Angeles, California. Before trying Memo Surge, my wife and I used to have a lot of fights caused by my forgetfulness. We were scared of the fact that one of us could be left alone soon, or even worse, that we'll both end up in a mental care facility for the elderly. I had a strong feeling about this supplement even after seeing the presentation and checking all the facts for myself. By the way, incredibly well done research and finding. And after 7 months of using it, all I can say is that my brain feels like I'm in my 30s. My wife keeps recommending it to all our friends and relatives, and even my 34-year-old grandson and his wife started to use it recently. Our memory is stronger than it has been in years. We regained our zest for life, and our daily fights simply disappeared. No more forgetting the grocery list, no more burning dinners or forgetting what I just said a minute ago. Everyone who passed 40 should try it. This brain booster doesn't compare to anything in the world. Thank you so much, Frank. Still there? No worries, I understand, especially given the incredible memory loss secret that I've revealed in this presentation. So let's answer some of the most important questions we receive about Memo Surge so you can go ahead and hit the buy button below with full confidence. Question 1. How does Memo Surge work? Clinical studies have shown that chronic memory loss is not related to genetics, age, or lifestyle, but with a little-known chemical your brain isn't capable of producing in the right quantities at this very moment. Sadly, brain-related diseases like memory loss, dementia, and many other dangerous ones start with this chemical deficiency. Your apparently mild senior moments are the red flag of something much worse that's yet to come. Here's a short, to-the-point explanation on how this formula works. Fire up neurotransmitters in your brain. As I already mentioned before, brain cell communication is directly linked to the production of a certain brain chemical called acetylcholine. To boost acetylcholine production, we added phosphatidylserine, a stepping stone ingredient which is absolutely crucial for keeping your brain healthy. It will also keep your neural activity at high levels by supporting new neural connections every day. Step 2. Repair the damaged brain cells and eliminate brain shrinkage. In order to get your sharp memory back, you have to make sure your brain doesn't starve for a few essential nutrients. And here comes into play St. John's wort. This super nutrient will completely destroy the plaque on your brain, allowing the brain cell communication to flow and be safely reestablished. Without it, the other superfoods would never be able to reach all the wounded neurons because the plaque prevents proper blood circulation inside the brain. Step 3. Bulletproof the entire brain against cognitive decline. Even though your brain is nourished by the other super ingredients, without N-acetyl L-carnitine, you wouldn't be able to recollect the memories you already lost. This powerful ingredient will also make your stiffened neurotransmitters more responsive, protecting your brain for any future disease, no matter if it's caused by age, environmental toxins, or bad cognitive routine. Step 4. Get rid of anxiety and insomnia and Ultra Boost your energy levels. This is why we added Bacopa monuri extract. Another superfood that your brain loves will regulate your feel-good chemicals so you'll enjoy a less stressful life and keep your memory to deep old age. Step 5. Your entire health and well-being start to improve. In just a few weeks, you'll regain your brain power, your hearing will be sharp, your mind will be quiet and peaceful, and you'll be protected against deadly brain disorders. And because this blend is so powerful, every single cell of your body will start to transform and rejuvenate. Question 2. Can I take Memo Surge if I have allergies or if I'm currently taking other supplements? We created Memo Surge for all ages and medical conditions. The only side effect you'll see while using it will be the blissful, sharp memory you'll be able to enjoy every minute of your life. Memo Surge is non-invasive, risk-free, does not require any restrictive diets, and does not interfere with other supplements you may take. Memo Surge addresses the real root cause of your memory loss in an extremely safe and natural way and nourishes your brain so you can stay protected against memory-related diseases. You should also know that Memory Surge is produced using high-quality ingredients in an FDA-approved facility using the latest technology and equipment. This is why we can confidently say that Memo Surge is safe to use. Now, as always, if you suffer from allergies or other certain medical conditions at this very moment, we strongly advise that you consult with your doctor first. Question 3. Why haven't I heard about this program before? This is the second time I'm posting this video online. There are some very powerful people working for the multi-billion-dollar pharma industry which are trying to prevent cognitive decline sufferers from seeing this video. They've been threatening me with expensive lawsuits ever since I released this information to the public because they know what this formula will do to their bottom lines. Luckily, this video can still be shared via email and WhatsApp. They've been fighting to ban this website from all the major mainstream media websites, so please be warned, I don't know how much longer I can keep it online. Tomorrow when you come back, it might be gone. Question 4. Who is this program for? Memo Surge is for people of all ages from 20 to 80 years old. This formula is 100% natural, non-invasive, and helps remove inflammation on your brain tissue and cells so you can easily and effortlessly break free from memory loss. This program is also good for people who've been experiencing early onset memory loss. When you deal with the real cause of memory loss, you deal with any existing brain-related diseases. Question 5. How long does it take until I see the results? Since you've been taking your first capsule of Memo Surge, the battle against memory loss has begun. We are truly excited for you to start experiencing the results. Question 6. Can you tell me about that risk-free guarantee again? The more results we see, the more confident we are that Memo Surge will work for you. Also, to put your mind at ease, we decided to give a risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee for every bottle of Memo Surge. You have 2 full months to enjoy the amazing benefits of this formula. If you decide Memo Surge is not for you, you can return what you haven't used in full for an immediate, no questions asked refund. 129,000 men and women who have tried it are now living proof that Memo Surge works for anyone, and it's guaranteed that it will work for you too. Question 7. How long will this still be available? I honestly don't know. History has shown us that the multi-million-dollar pharmaceutical conglomerates are not going to sit aside and watch as their margins turn to dust. They'll spend as much money as they need in legal fees to shut down this site. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Wouldn't you pay a fancy lawyer $1 million when you know it will save you $50 million per year in profits? That being said, this may be your last chance to get Memo Surge. The choice is up to you, of course. But I wouldn't wait until it's already too late and this website is removed from the internet. Also, you should know that the only place you can get Memo Surge is right here on this page. Question 8. How do I get Memo Surge? It's simple. Select one of the packages below and hit the Buy Now button. Try the program for 2 full months, and if you're unhappy with the results, send me an email and I'll make sure you get your investment back. I'm extremely confident that you won't be asking for a refund because I know this program has proven to work for people of all ages and no matter for how long they've been suffering from memory loss. So go ahead, click the button below and be another story that Memo Surge brings to the world.